Pakistani Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb unveiled the Pakistan Economic Survey 2024-25, which outlines modest but stabilizing trends in the country's economic trajectory. While the economy is projected to grow this fiscal year, the finance minister acknowledged the challenge of meeting the initial growth target, given the underperformance in the first 3 quarters. Despite the shortfall, Aurangzeb pointed to encouraging signs of macroeconomic stability. Inflation has eased significantly, the current account has shifted to a surplus, and remittances have grown strongly. He also cited a notable recovery in investor confidence, reflected in the capital markets performance and improved revenue collection.
इसी तरह मैं जिक्र करना चाहता हूँ वो सारे सर्वेज जो आए हैं, whether it's the overseas chamber जिन्होंने कहा कि 16% से इसको जो है फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स का कॉन्फिडेंस हैज़ गॉन अप. PwC उन्होंने कहा कि जो CEO ऑप्टिमिज्म हैज़ गॉन अप बाय 83%. तो मैं इसलिए कहता हूँ कि जो आगे इंडस्ट्री ने बढ़ाना है, ये CEOs अगर ऑप्टिमिस्टिक होंगे तो आगे अपनी फर्म्स को लेके जाएंगे कि इन्वेस्ट करो इस मुल्क में. एंड आई एम वेरी क्लियर कि लोकल इन्वेस्टर्स आएंगे तो फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स आएंगे.
The survey also highlighted gains in agriculture, industry, and services, though with mixed results, and outlined structural reforms underway to address long-standing fiscal and governance issues. Speaking at the launch, Aurangzeb said the survey serves as a precursor to a forward-looking federal budget, adding, "Macroeconomic stability is not an end, but a means to prosperity." He emphasized that tomorrow's budget would build on this foundation, with a focus on inclusive growth and resilience.
बिकॉज फ्रॉम माई पर्सपेक्टिव देखिए, मैं एक आम बात करता हूँ कि मैक्रो इकनॉमिक स्टेबिलिटी में हमेशा ये कहता हूँ, इट्स नॉट एन एंड इन इटसेल्फ, इट्स अ मीन्स टू एन एंड, राइट. बिकॉज अगर लोगों की एलसीज खुल रही हैं, लोगों की रेमिटेंसेस हो रही हैं, पॉलिसी रेट अगर नीचे आ गया है, और आपकी जो फाइनेंसिंग जो 23-24% पे चली गई थी, अगर वो काइबोर जो है 11-12% पे आ चुका है, तो ये रोजी तो नहीं है, ये फैक्चुअल पोजीशन है.
As the government prepares for major fiscal decisions, the federal budget for 2025-26 is set to be announced tomorrow, Tuesday, June 10th. Israeli forces seized the Gaza-bound charity vessel Madeleine on Monday, detaining Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg and other passengers in a dramatic naval operation. The yacht, part of the pro-Palestinian Freedom Flotilla coalition, aimed to deliver symbolic aid and raise awareness of Gaza's humanitarian crisis. Thunberg, filmed before the seizure, called on supporters to pressure the Swedish government for her release. Israel dismissed the effort as a stunt, saying all on board were safe and served sandwiches and water. French MEP Rima Hassan, also on board, confirmed their arrest in international waters, while Israeli authorities pledged to reroute the aid to Gaza through legitimate channels.
My name is Greta Thunberg and I am from Sweden. If you see this video, we have been intercepted and kidnapped in international waters by the Israeli occupational forces or forces that support Israel. I urge all my friends, family and comrades to put pressure on the Swedish government to release me and the others as soon as possible.
Meanwhile, international reaction grew. French President Macron urged Israel to release French citizens aboard the vessel, and several European governments requested consular support for their nationals. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz called the mission pro-Hamas propaganda and vowed to show the detainees videos of the October 7th attacks. In response, Hamas denounced the seizure as state terrorism. The UN's Francesca Albanese supported the flotilla's goals, calling on other ports to send aid ships. In a rare sign of progress, Russia and Ukraine began a significant prisoner exchange on Monday, repatriating captured soldiers under the age of 25. The initiative stems from direct talks held in Istanbul on June 2nd, where both sides agreed to swap at least 1,200 prisoners each and facilitate the return of thousands of fallen soldiers' bodies. While neither side disclosed the number exchanged so far, scenes of emotional reunions were shared by Ukrainian authorities, with President Volodymyr Zelensky confirming the swap would proceed in stages over several days. Meanwhile, the war continued to intensify. Ukraine reported that Russia launched its largest drone attack since the invasion began, targeting a military airfield in Dubno, near the Polish border. Ukraine's Air Force claimed to have intercepted most drones and missiles, though admitted there were some hits. The attack followed Ukraine's own recent drone strikes on Russian airbases. In response, Poland scrambled Allied aircraft to monitor its airspace. Russia's Ministry of Defense described the attack as part of a broader retaliatory campaign. Protests over U.S. President Donald Trump's aggressive immigration policy escalated in Los Angeles on Sunday, prompting police to declare the entire downtown area an unlawful assembly zone. Demonstrations turned violent for a third consecutive day, with protesters torching vehicles, including Waymo self-driving cars, and throwing projectiles at officers. Police made dozens of arrests, used tear gas, and deployed flashbangs as crowds blocked highways and clashed with law enforcement. The unrest followed Trump's deployment of 2,000 National Guard troops to the city, a move California Governor Gavin Newsom denounced as unlawful and vowed to challenge in court. Meanwhile, trade tensions between the U.S. and China deepened as officials from both nations met in London to salvage a tentative agreement made in Geneva last month. Talks are now focused on rare earth exports, a vital supply chain issue. U.S. Economic Advisor Kevin Hassett said Washington expects an immediate resumption of shipments following Trump's recent call with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Customs data revealed a sharp 34.5% drop in China's exports to the U.S. in May, underscoring the toll of escalating tariffs. Despite muted inflation, economic strain is mounting, with key sectors watching the outcome of London's talks closely. At the opening of the third UN Ocean Conference in Nice on Monday, Secretary-General Antonio Guterres urged nations to urgently ratify the High Seas Treaty to protect marine ecosystems under growing threat. He warned that illegal fishing, plastic waste, and climate-driven ocean warming were unraveling food chains, damaging livelihoods, and weakening the ocean's ability to absorb carbon emissions. The ocean is the ultimate shared resource, but we are failing it, he said.
Member States also adopted the Agreement on Marine Biological Diversity of Areas Beyond National Jurisdiction, a historic breakthrough. I urge all delegations to ratify it and welcome the good news given by President Macron and the momentum this conference is generating towards its swift entry into force.
The 2023 treaty allows countries to designate marine protected areas in international waters, which cover nearly two-thirds of the ocean. However, only about 1% of these waters are currently protected. While 50 countries have ratified the treaty, it needs 60 to come into force. French President Emmanuel Macron said he expects that milestone to be reached by year's end. The U.S. has yet to ratify the agreement and did not send a high-level delegation to the conference. Meanwhile, the UN revealed plans for a new ocean financing facility to launch by 2028, aiming to bridge the gap between current ocean health investments, just $10 billion from 2015 to 2019, and the estimated $175 billion needed annually. Over the weekend, banks and philanthropists pledged €8.7 billion toward a more sustainable ocean economy.